You keep making progress, and then out of nowhere, you seem to undo it all. You might lose a stone, you might lose two, and then one bad day comes along and it derails everything. And then before you know it, you've put all that weight on that you just lost. Now, we're all aware of what self-sabotage is, and you've likely said the phrase, I just keep sabotaging myself. And it's one of the most frustrating things you can do when it comes to your progress, because you seem to be the only thing getting in your own way of getting to where you want to get to. I'm going to break this down and make this as simple as possible for you so we can end this cycle that you're stuck in. Because the truth about self-sabotage is that in and of itself, it is actually a myth. And you're thinking, well, no, I definitely self-sabotage myself, but you're not. You're doing something else entirely. You're self-preserving yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, what you're actually doing is you're preserving part of yourself which you're not willing to let go of yet. To become somebody new, what we have to do is actually grow. And growing is actually saying goodbye to the old versions of yourself. That's letting the old previous parts of yourself die. And what we do through self-sabotage is, and you'll notice this, whenever you get to your biggest breakthrough, whenever you're about to become the lightest you've ever been, you're in your best shape, it seems to come across then. That's when your self-sabotage occurs. And that's because you are actually in the process of becoming somebody new during that point in time. So what does your mind do? What does your body do? What does your nervous system do? It sabotages what you're doing to keep you in line with that part of yourself which is trying to preserve. And when we reframe self-sabotage this way, it makes it far easier to digest, and it also means that we can have a solution in place which is actually going to work. And this becomes quite a liberating sensation, right? Because now you realize that you're not stopping yourself getting in your own way, you're actually keeping yourself where you believe that you should be. And to break this cycle, you basically need to depict what you believe about yourself. Because the way that we work as human beings when it comes to our behavior, our thoughts, our emotions, is all of those things are in line with something called your identity. In psychology, we might call this our self-concept, but this is basically who you believe that you are. And this is on a complete subconscious level, by the way. This isn't, oh, I think I'm X, Y, Z. This is who you truly believe that you are in that subconscious mind. This self-image, this identity is formed through your experience of your life, your successes, your failures, the things in which people have said about you, good or bad. They're all congregated into this self-image and who you believe that you truly are. This is very valid, right? Because you're basically just using your collected experience through your own lens to basically paint this picture of who you think that you are. It's very valid. What makes up a large part of this identity is the beliefs in which we hold about ourselves and about the world and everything that's going on around outside us. What you will tend to find within self-sabotage is there's a belief inside you which is becoming the limitation, because your body has one job, and that's to keep everything congruent with the beliefs in which you have. So when you believe something, your body will sabotage yourself even when you're starting to dispel that belief to get yourself back in line with it. Now, when it comes to sabotaging your fat loss journey, when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to getting yourself to a better shape, when it comes to health and your vitality, there's a few common beliefs that are circulating in the background which are more than likely causing yourself to preserve the old beliefs and therefore self-sabotage the new version of you that you're becoming. And a few examples of these. I need to be perfect to make progress. That's probably something that you believe. That's a super common one. I run into so many people which have this belief, and then this manifests in the form of their behavior. So when they do make a mistake, they feel like they're not going to make progress, so everything falls off track. I have a slow metabolism. What tends to happen is we start to build this narrative about ourselves that we believe our metabolism is slow. Therefore, when you start to lose weight, you're going to believe that fat loss is harder for you because your metabolism is slow. You then self-sabotage yourself when you start to lose weight to keep yourself congruent with that belief. I find it hard to lose weight, and this is a really common one. If you find something hard, your body's going to make it harder for you. You're going to sabotage yourself when it comes to keeping consistent with the things in which you need to do. And the last one, which is a super common belief, is I have X condition and I can't lose weight. This might be I have PCOS and I can't lose weight. I have endometriosis, I can't lose weight. I have an underactive thyroid, I can't lose weight. These beliefs become a self-fulfilling prophecy, especially when it comes to a diagnosis of any sort, because you can have two people, two women. One has PCOS and finds losing weight easy. Two has PCOS, finds losing weight difficult. The difference between these two women is going to be the fact that one loses weight easily and the other one doesn't. And the only thing that was different is the belief in which that they held. Now, if you found what I said quite offensive, it usually means that we're in the right place right now, because what I'm actually doing is attacking a belief in which that you have. But I'm here to tell you that you don't need to believe these things. These beliefs have simply become limitations for you to get to where you want to get to. And what we need to do is start to rewrite these beliefs, dissolve the ones which no longer serve us and are getting in our own way, so we can step into this new version of ourselves. Because what would life look like for you if you had the belief that it was easy for you to lose weight? You definitely wouldn't be overweight. That's for certain. I'm going to simplify this for you even more. If you have the belief that it's hard to lose weight, or I have PCOS and I can't lose weight, or I have a slow metabolism, I can't lose weight, I need to be perfect to lose weight. When small triggers occur, when a bad day occurs, when going out for a drink occurs, when you meet up with your friends, you have a little bit of excess food occurs, you're going to see this as your proof for these things being true. And what I tend to find with people that have these beliefs is they're always finding evidence for them, even when it's not the case. You actually have part of your brain called the RAS, it's the reticular activating system, and its job is quite literally to scan through your reality to prove back to you the beliefs in which you have. So let's say you did go out for dinner and you wake up the next day and you've gained 2.5 pounds. When you have the belief system that it's hard for you to lose weight and that you put weight on easily, you're going to look at that 2.5 pounds and you're going to see that as permanent weight. That then manifests in the form of you sodding the gym off for that week. Your motivation declines, you go and eat more shit because you thought that belief in the first place. If you had the belief that it wasn't hard to lose weight and you didn't have a slow metabolism and you don't need to be perfect to make progress, then you would have simply just seen that weight gain as water gain through eating some simply salty food the night before. And what you wouldn't do is let that become the thing that derails you. I'm hoping by this point you can understand where I'm coming from and it's starting to resonate. So these beliefs that you have, simply limitations. These beliefs are the very thing which are causing you to sabotage yourself. So in order to break self-sabotage, we need to break these beliefs which are no longer serving you. And to do that, we need to go through a 3-step process. The first is actually identifying what the belief is. For different people, there can be different things. I've listed a few as an example, but you might have ones which sit in different areas. Some people have different beliefs around food. Some people believe that they have to earn food. Some people believe that they can't eat certain things. This then manifests again in the form of self-sabotage, because when they do break those rules, they really break those rules. Once you understand what the belief is, we can move on to step 2, which is dissolving the belief, dissembling it, understanding why this belief is not true. And you're gonna have to pull from outside you for this one. When you have the belief of, I have PCOS and I can't lose weight, you might look at your own experience and go, this is true. I 100% believe this. But you can look at someone else who has PCOS, who has lost weight. You can look online and see that it is possible. You can look in the medical science and go, this doesn't actually become a limitation. And it's just about pulling evidence from outside you to reaffirm that this belief is not something that you need to subscribe to. If you have the belief that you have a slow metabolism, once again, is that true? Does that belief serve you? You might say, well, yeah, I do have a slow metabolism, but maybe your metabolism has just slowed down due to you mistreating your body for so long. Maybe your metabolism has slowed down actually to protect you because you don't eat enough food, so your metabolic rate is set to slow down in order to preserve energy so you can sustain the lifestyle in which you're currently living. Everything is just a reframe. And I'm not asking you to go against everything you believe. I'm asking you that maybe you've been looking at it from the wrong angle this entire time, and you simply just need to look at it from a different one. And when you open it up from a different perspective, you're going to go, maybe I've been lying to myself this entire time. Once we've broken this belief apart, we've dissembled it, we've dissolved it, we've started to go, maybe this isn't the case. We need to move on to step 3, which is now finding new evidence for the new belief in which we're looking to install. And what you need to do with this is not go from one extreme to the other. This isn't, I find it hard to lose weight, to I lose weight easy, I have a fast metabolism. You need to find a mid-ground for that. We need to change that belief to, I found it hard to lose weight in the past, but I haven't been doing things correctly. The new belief might be, I need to be perfect to make progress, when actually you realize that you don't need to do that. And actually some of your best progress came when you had a little bit more balance in your life. And what we need to do on a day-by-day basis is start visually seeing this new evidence for the belief in which we're looking to install about yourself. Because remember, your brain has one job, it's to scan your reality for evidence of the belief in which you no longer want to serve. So what we have to do now is consciously find new evidence to suggest the new one in which we're looking to install. And sometimes this is going to feel hard. This is going to feel like you're going against yourself. And that's probably when you're taking this too far. Again, what I want you to do is simply move from this end of the spectrum to here. We don't need to go to the far end. We just need to go to here, making things neutral. It's not, oh, my body hates losing fat. It's maybe I've been mistreating my body. Maybe it's easy for me to lose fat when I do the right things. I don't know that yet because I haven't taken the right approach for me. And we can just start finding new evidence, which gets reaffirmed to our subconscious mind. Then this new belief has more weight and more proof. Therefore, we can start to instill it naturally. And this isn't straightforward. This isn't going to happen overnight. This is a very gradual process. You're literally going through the process of becoming somebody new and killing the old version of yourself. But it is also the only way in which you're going to see long-lasting change, because change done without changing your beliefs, your self-image, your identity, your own limitations is only going to lead you back to those limitations and back to where you once were within that old version of you. So it is tiresome. It is going to take some work. It's going to take a lot of reframing, but that is how we are going to break the process of self-sabotage. And that's because we're not going to be tackling self-sabotage in of itself. We're going to be tackling the mechanism underneath it, which is causing this to occur. And what will start to happen is you'll start to self-preserve the new version of you which you're looking to step into. And that's when progress is going to come thick and fast, because now you're actually preserving the beliefs in which serve you now. This is where I specialize and work with women one-to-one on breaking those beliefs down, reversing the psychology to make this process happen. If you want further assistance to doing that, you can apply to work with me through the top link in my description. The reason we tackle the psychology first is because the physiology depends entirely on the psychology. But I've given you the blueprint. This is exactly what you need to go away and do. If you do have any questions, just leave them in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.